Hello everyone, Justice Curry here for another exciting episode. We're going to try something a little outside the box. I have a special guest, but it's not like prior special guests that I've had and you're going to see in a moment. But today we're going to be discussing how shows like the upcoming The Toys That Made Us, and past shows like The Toy Hunter or some Pawn Stars, or even the resurgence in Star Wars since Disney bought it and they started making new movies. We're going to talk about how that's affected toy collecting as a whole. So I want to introduce you to my very, very good friend, John Gallimore. Woo!
Hello, interwebs at large. How are you all doing today?
I'm sure they are doing fine because they are watching us. Um,
Exactly right. What more fun could they want?
Exactly. I really appreciate you coming here because you and I have been on the same page with how we really think that the Toys That Made Us, which comes out really, what, in a week or two? What is it?
December 22nd.
Okay, it's 2017. You may be watching this 5 years from now, but it's still going to be relevant to you just because I think, and John's going to probably be on the same page with me, it's going to add some flavor, add some flame to our toy collecting hobby that we're pretty deep into right now. I can see in the background some of your collection right there. What do you primarily collect?
Mostly I'm into G.I. Joes, Transformers, Masters of the Universe, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I would say that's a big thing. But also collect comic books, which I think also gives me, as you were alluding to, a little bit of that insight into how some of the things that are coming soon will affect collecting. Because I've
Yes.
seen some of how has worked with comic books, and I feel like that some of that same effect is definitely going to apply.
Oh, for sure. Now, I know one of the sparks, and I haven't really talked to many people about this on my YouTube channel, but most people that know me know that about 4+ years ago, when the Toy Hunter came out, so it was Jordan Hembrow going to toy collectors' houses and buying things, and I'm seeing this for the first time going, oh my God, there's people my age or close to my age with these awesome collections. And I used to be a toy collector when I was in high school and middle school, and then I thought I had to grow up, and I shed that off. But when I saw it was normalized, it sparked something inside me. What was the spark that kind of blew up for you?
Really, as just in a real moment of honesty, I'm that kid because I'm still a kid, really, that's always wanted to have this. It was kind of implanted in my head at a very early age, actually through Marvel Universe trading cards,
Yep.
the idea of being a collector. And when I say that, I remember reading on the back of a Marvel Universe trading card for Captain America, it said Captain America, it was like fun facts, Captain America first appeared in Avengers #4. And in my head I thought, someday I want an Avengers #4. So in truth told, me becoming a collector was really, or the kind of collection I wanted, kind of came out of finally being able to afford all of those things I always wanted.
Yes.
And that compiled with the fact that I'm that guy that through a few troublesome events growing up that I lost most of the toys that I grew up
Oh,
with.
yep.
Like, there's not a single thing in my collection that I had when I was a kid.
Wow.
So that's really what did it for me. Now, the more that it became publicized and socially acceptable through the media, like you were saying, or getting out to conventions and seeing more functional adults doing this,
Yep.
it definitely became a thing where I was like, this is okay.
Right.
And then, through another thing you and I have touched on before, like meeting you through Facebook groups, this Facebook
Yes.
group connectivity has been huge.
Oh, big
huge
time.
for all of us on how we collect.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to tell the viewers a little side note. I mean, I don't think this YouTube channel would even be possible if it wasn't for you. Think about it. Facebook created this new thing called Facebook Live, which is not new when you're watching this, but that was early of 2017. And on the G.I. Joe group, a few people, you included, started doing live videos. And it took it to a whole new level of collectors going, oh my gosh, we get to see the personality behind the pictures. And you were calling people out saying, hey, people need to do it. And I said, what the heck, I'll try it. And I mentioned you in my first video, John Gallimore kind of pulled me out of my shell. And once I did it, something felt alive in me. I felt more connected into the community. I felt like I was giving more back and sharing more. and that kind of bred into my YouTube videos. So thank you for being part of it.
Well, you're very welcome. I actually remember that day because you were like, I had just did a video, and you were like, you know what, man, I'm up next, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
To your point on that, I hate to say it, not to get on a downer, but social media, especially in the last year, became such a negative thing with politics and whatnot. And considering that we have Facebook Live as collectors to be such a fun thing,
right?
A way to connect us more. It's like social media became fun again through all this.
Indeed.
So I'm like you. I really appreciate this aspect.
Yes, yes. So we've seen trends, and you've mentioned comic books. I've mentioned Toy Hunter and Star Wars, and then we have this upcoming thing, the toy apocalypse, as you and I have mentioned before. And it's a scale, because I'm in my mid to late 30s. You're on the younger end of collectors, but typically collecting starts getting more popular in the 30s when people have more disposable income and they're starting to reclaim their childhood for what's going on in their head, and they find this community of people. But I think what kind of is the starting block, the jumping block, is mass-produced shows. Like when the Toy Hunter came out many years ago, that normalized it for a lot of people, including me. Things kind of died back down, and now we, I think, have a new resurgence in especially 80s pop culture. 80s is huge right now. And it's the perfect time. It's the perfect ignition point.
And it really is. And there's a couple things, to that. This is launching directly on Netflix. The Toys That Made Us is launching directly on Netflix. What's another nostalgia, just dripping with nostalgia show that we're all familiar with on Netflix? Stranger Things.
Let me show the viewers. Yes.
Vintage toys have popped up in Stranger Things.
Yes, Stranger Things. If you haven't watched it, I just showed everyone a poster, my Stranger Things poster. I love it, and that is just awesome. It gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yes, and I mean, it's funny because so many people, like, at this point, not like everyone who has any recollection of the 80s can find something they can relate to in Stranger Things. Because,
yes.
It doesn't matter what it is. So a lot of people are coming right off on that, and they're getting connected to that 80s nostalgia. Well, then, right here at Christmas, and what's a nostalgic time for all of us?
Christmas.
We're going to have a whole series released about the toys that made us who we are.
Exactly.
So you want to talk about perfect timing and this perfect storm? Man, like, I think that, like, all of this aside, I was so thrilled to think, wow, I'm going to be sitting at my mom's place on Christmas Eve probably streaming the show, and that's going to be so nice.
I know, right? And it's really cool with the toy Facebook sites. And if you're not on these Facebook groups, they're wonderful. You got to get connected. Whatever your vice is, not just G.I. Joe, Heman, Star Wars. If you're into My Little Ponies, there's Facebook groups, I'm sure, for bronies out there. Get plugged in. Find like-minded people like yourself. But we're on several of the groups with people that are featured on the upcoming Toys That Made Us. And many of us submitted our pictures of our collections to certain people involved in a production of it, which may or may not be used in like the end credit scenes or whatnot. And they posted it on their Facebook site. I believe you had your pictures posted. I did as well, which was exciting.
All kinds of people that we know, and that's another thing. Like these Facebook groups, we're all so connected now. We know each other. We're like, and I could look at it. It's funny too because I could look at a collection on the Toys That Made Us page and be like, "That's Joe Teague's collection, or that's John Campiano's collection. That's Justice. Like that's their collections." And it's just another level of it's made us all so tight.
Yes.
And the toy collecting community is a big world, but it's a small world all at the same time.
Of course. Yep, I totally agree. Now we see prices being affected by some of these because there's a supply and demand. There's a limited supply. They made these in the 80s. There's only so many. But when demand goes up and supply's the same, that means prices can go up, which we both been preaching for a long time, ever since this Toys That Made Us got announced earlier this year. Go out there and do what? Buy what?
Buy whatever's the big thing on your list, get it now.
Yes.
Specifically, and I think you and I agree on this as well, those iconic items.
Yeah.
Big, iconic items from each of those lines.
Of course.
Go get it. Sorry.
No,
I
no.
still have my little girl down here with me today.
Yes, yes. Don't be sorry. Our viewers at home can relate. On many of my videos, I have my daughter interrupting or my kids crying. But we've seen other things happen, like with the Marvel Universe that took off like a rocket ship several years ago, and the comics, boo, crazy soaring prices. And you're more into comics than I am. Did you? I'm sure you've noticed a huge trend correlation.
Oh, it's been unreal, and it's absolutely irrefutable at this point. You're seeing characters that, for the most part, and I mean, not to disparage any of those.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's funny.
Not to disparage any of those intellectual properties. They're all characters that I like, but I mean, you want to like probably not even 5 years ago, if you wanted to buy the first appearance of Iron Fist, you were going to maybe spend $40 to $50 on that book.
Yep.
And now, even here's the thing: even after a show that for the Iron Fist wasn't as well received as, let's say, Daredevil or even the movies like Iron Man or Captain America,
yep.
that character, his first appearance, the major collectible for him, triple, quadrupled in price easily.
Oh wow!
And that's on the low end. Some of these characters, their comics, their first appearance comics, have seen some of them 10 times in value.
Oh, I believe it.
Daredevil is easily one that I can cite that has experienced that. So another thing that I think for the speculation level of what we're discussing is how all of this is received. And it's not going to be just because it was a toy that's in the 80s, it's suddenly going to be worth $1 bajillion.
Right.
It's going to be, you're going to see some they're going to see, it's going to be a bell curve effect. You're going to see some they're going to see the small increase, and the more iconic characters like Heman, Skeletor, Duke, Cobra Commander, Optimus Prime, you're going to see the bigger increase. And then down to the more rare things.
Of
you're
course.
going to see the small increase as well. But, it just depends on how they're presented and what happens from there.
I agree. And you've probably seen some of my YouTube videos, and if not, I don't hold it against you. But I have one video like hoarding He-Man. So check out some of my old videos and subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button down below. But I had like 200 some He-Man figures. I'm dumping them out. So I get messages almost on a daily basis from strangers. Hey, do you sell this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And granted, I sell it because I need to finance my hobby by selling more toys. It's a vicious cycle. But the iconic ones like He-Man and Skeletor, that's what everyone's always after. The Optimus Primes, the Snake Eyes, the really...
And here's the other side of it, talking about speculation. Whereas, because you and I have discussed, and it's been the large debate, so people say, do you think that a television show is going to create a new collector? Maybe. But what I do think a television show will be like, you know what? I watched that, and that made me think of how much I loved my Skeletor when I was a kid. You know what? I'll go out and get my Skeletor. I won't start collecting all toys, but I'll buy this one. And those major iconic characters again.
Yes.
Those will be the ones that the not collector will go out and look for and
correct.
buy. Now, the guy who's already collecting, or the person who's like, you know what, I will start collecting, they might buy a little bit of everything. So, again, that's that small percentage increase. But the icons,
yes.
the big guys, the dogs of the line, they will get the big increase because they will be the most sought after.
And I'm already seeing that, even with the He-Man, the Masters of the Universe line, with like the common ones, not common, but Skeletor and He-Man, that used to be a $20 figure, now is $35, $40 figures complete. Or the mint on card He-Man market has been skyrocketing in the last year with the anticipation of a movie in 2018.
Right. And that's the other thing that you and I have also discussed with speculation is that, again, here we have like Stranger Things. Well, even before that, we have comic books and how collecting in the convention scene is kind of blown up.
Yep.
Then we have Stranger Things kind of priming everyone in Netflix land for nostalgia. Then we have the release of this show. And then we might have a Masters of the Universe movie. And then Hasbro's been talking about revamping G.I. Joe movies. So, perfect storm.
Yes.
Perfect storm.
I totally agree. And I think I've already mentioned Star Wars as far as when Disney bought Star Wars, the franchise. Oh my God, the figures went triple, quadruple instantly, way up, and it's hot right now. Heck, we have a Star Wars movie coming out in a few days. I can't wait. The Last Jedi. Super excited. Again, I'm dating this video because if this is 10 years from now, The Last Jedi will be old news. but it's still fun. We're going to get others in the community with the GI Joe Facebook group that you're involved with, ARAH, A Real American Hero, 1982 to 1984. At the beginning of the year, how many members strong was that?
Oh, man, about at the beginning of 2017, we might have had 5,000, maybe 4,500 to 5,000
Right.
members, and now we're over 10,000.
10,000 people, over 5,000 people within a short period of time is crazy, and it's awesome. And we're watching the advent of the live videos, and people are doing auctions and the pricing, and unfortunately there is downsides to all this, because the more people you bring in, the more probability of there being some bad apples. There's always going to be bad apples. That's called the 3% rule. In society, 3% is going to make very bad decisions and say crazy things and stir up the pot. And you see it, I see it. But the overwhelming positivity of the group and rooting out those people and getting rid of them to stay strong and is unreal. And I love it. With the toys that made us, here's another side thing about it. From what we understand, it's not going to be about the collector's perspective, but it's going to be strictly about the toys. They're going to be interviewing designers and vice presidents of Hasbro and Mattel and people that were instrumental in creating the toys that made us. So we're not going to get probably collection rooms or whatnot. Maybe they will. So I'm curious how that's going to affect it as well.
Yeah, and you know, I think that as you and I have said before, I think that we can only see things like this being the start
Yes.
of it all, right? I think that the seeing them highlighted around Christmas, I still think is going to be a big deal for that nostalgia thing.
Yep.
But at the same time, I agree with you. It's not going to be just centered around collectors, so we really don't know where it's going to go from there. But who knows? Maybe one day there will be a program that's centered around collectors. We just don't know what the future can hold.
We don't know, and there's some rumoring that, about a documentary about toy collectors, and it's not about who has the best collection and the biggest collection, but what drives us, why we have this passion for it. And in the beginning, it kind of was just about the toys for me. I got the 86 Viper, I've got it. It triggered something inside of me. I wanted more, it gave me warm feelings. But when I entered into the Facebook realm and started meeting people, it took it to a whole new level. And my real grails now are you guys, the friends that I have made in this crazy fun hobby.
Most definitely, and I think the thing, like, I don't know, the plastic comes and goes,
Yep.
right? But this means something. I mean, you're from Michigan, and here I am sitting in here in West Virginia, but we correspond daily,
Yeah.
About
Yep.
all these things. And it's really the other thing, the other aspect of the toy collecting community is that these groups make it more fun. It's more fun for me to sit here and go, Justin, you're never going to believe what I just walked down, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
There's somebody that can be as excited with it as you are.
Indeed.
So, yes, you do get some bad apples, some rotten fellers here and there, but for the most part, man, it's been an amazing experience to really get involved in this whole community, in this whole world.
Yep. And I highly suggest, guys, if you're just collecting by yourself or not plugged in, get plugged in, go to those toy shows, talk with people. Heck, Gallimore right here, earlier this year, with the help of another person, organized something called the Meetup in the Midwest. Was that this year or was that last year? I can't even...
It was 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, this
Yep.
year, which is crazy. It feels like it's been forever since then.
It does. It was in Kokomo, Indiana. So all these guys on the Facebook GI Joe groups that got to know each other from live videos and whatnot, they said, hey, let's all just meet up together. So guys from Canada, dudes from Washington State, New York, Florida, came from all around the country and met up in a hotel, had fun. We had such a freaking blast, and that energy that was...
Amazing.
It was.
It was absolutely amazing. It was an incredible experience. I'm so thankful just to have been a part of it.
Yes.
Because conventions are one thing, but at the center of a convention is somebody that's trying to make a buck. Like, it just is what it is. And this was just about us getting together to share the love and just to get to know each other.
Yes.
And, man, an amazing experience.
Yep, and online friends, and people tease like, it's an online friend. But these online friends can be stronger than some of your real friends because you share this thread. And then we got to all meet in person. Oh, it was so fun. And yeah, because people come into my toy room, maybe family or friends that don't care about this stuff, and they're like, wow, and they're probably thinking, what a crazy person. But they watch sports nonstop, or they have some other passion that I don't tease, and this just happens to be one of our, driving forces that we enjoy, that gives us joy.
Most definitely, man. And I mean, it's funny. Like, I mean, I have my non-toy friends, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that they sometimes get a little jealous of
Yeah.
this. Like,
Right.
because they know how involved I am with this and how passionate I am about it, and they don't hate on it, but at the same time, they don't get it.
Of course. Hello, Hazel. How are you? You doing all right, dear?
Justin.
Hey! You're growing up, and I get to watch kids grow up. And, I get to share this with my own kids, and they get to go play with my toys that I have at ground level. Sometimes, I mean, what kid gets to play with toys from their father's childhood? It's weird, but it's cool at the same time. And I don't kid myself that this will be their passion in life. Chances are my kids aren't going to end up just like me, having this crazy nostalgia hobby, but hey, they might. There's a lot worse things you could do with your life, I'm thinking. Yep.
Well, she is in full, ready to have some milk mode, sir. So
Yes.
I might have to shut this one down just a
No,
little
nope, we talked. We covered basically everything there was. So I'm glad you could join us. I'm going to take the viewers on a little tour of my toy room before I leave. Is there anything in your collection you want to show people real quick before you sign off?
You know what, man? We'll go on a small tour.
All right, cool.
Small tour here quickly. I have so many things that I could love. I could share. I could talk about. I could, really go down the line for. But I gotta say, if I want to highlight something that's relatively new to my collection,
Yes.
I want to show this thing right here. I don't know how well you can see it right now. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's do this.
If you're not moving, it'll be better.
Yeah, there we go. This is my AFA 85 Transformers Run Amok.
Okay.
This was actually the first toy I can ever remember playing with.
Nice.
And I just acquired it recently. We were mentioning price tags earlier with the things that are mint on card.
Yep.
You see there's a nice bit of nostalgia, childhood nostalgia right there with the KB price tag.
We can just see a pixelated white square because the quality isn't.
Well, it may be, but to me it means everything in the world.
Yes.
And this was huge for me to acquire, and definitely something I'm really proud of. I don't know that I've got to show it to you yet. So,
No, I haven't seen
yes,
it. That's awesome, man.
First toy I can ever remember playing with.
Well, I hope to be able to bring this YouTube channel to your residence in the near future and meet up with you. I'll invite myself over.
You are always welcome, sir.
Awesome. I appreciate it, John. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Yep, later on. Well, that's it, folks. I just wanted to kind of have... Most of my videos are showing you going, hey, this is Star Wars, or these are Visionaries, or G.I. Joes, or Masters of the Universe. But I kind of wanted to find a like-minded person, because John and I talk all the time, especially about the influences of the media, not media, but the shows and the new stuff coming out that has on the collecting community. Like we mentioned before, the G.I. Joe sites skyrocketed with membership, and there's so many new people coming in here, which is awesome to see. It's the more the merrier. The more the merrier. I'm glad I got in at the ground floor, and the Toys That Made Us is right here. I was fortunate enough to have some of my collection featured on their website. They showed pictures of everything, and probably had the most likes that I've ever had in my entire life. But it's not about the likes. It's not about the recognition. I'm here to share my passion with you guys and hopefully spark something inside you to go, you know what? I want to start getting into that. Or I'm going to go on eBay or go on Facebook and start buying some of those pieces for my collection. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to have the crazy completist everything, and now I'm into the phase of my life where I'm going, I got almost everything. Now I'm getting into the more obscure, the bootleg, the knockoff, the foreign figures, which are more expensive. They take longer to track down, so that's fine. I like to slow down my speed, but I also like buying collections to finance doing this and to put those toys in people like yours hands. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. A few new things I'll show you. Also, one of my new passions is customization. Victor, I've done a video on customs before, made Panther and Battle Cat there. He also made a funny looking Castle Grayskull man, which taken the new Super 7 Muscle Men, Motussles, and turned them into that. Just recently picked up another Satan Cross, the rarest of the flesh color muscle men. I'm hoping to do a video in the near future dedicated to muscle men and Kinikimon, their Japan counterpart. So yes, thank you for tuning in, watching this. If I'm going to be launching this video on YouTube probably around the same time that the Toys That Made Us comes out, so you're on the ground floor. Get involved, get in the hobby, have fun with it, enjoy the same passion I have. All right, you guys, take care. Have a wonderful day.